Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss the astrology of 2022, and my goal in this video is just to give you the overview of the year. So let's get started. Now the first thing I want to talk about is the Saturn-Uranus square. Now coming into 2022, we will be bringing this energy in with us, and we will be experiencing the Saturn-Uranus square energy all of 2022. Now let's talk about what this energy is. So first of all, we are seeing the Saturn-Uranus square after 21 years. The last time this happened was in the year 2000, so it's a rare thing to go through. And very simply put, this energy is asking us to change, embrace the new, get rid of the old that doesn't serve us, and embrace our true, unique, authentic self. And since they are in a square, in 90-degree angle, this process of embracing the new, embracing our true selves, getting rid of the old might feel challenging. And we worked on this energy all of 2021, especially in the months of Feb, June, and December. And even into 2022, we will be working on this energy. And as we enter January in 2022, this energy will be quite intense because December was when the square came, exact December 24th, 2021. So that's the first thing about 2022, that we will be working on the Saturn-Uranus square theme, which is about changing, which is about embracing the new, which is about embracing our true authentic self and getting rid of whatever doesn't serve us any longer. Now, the second thing about 2022 is that Saturn will be in Aquarius as it was in 2021. Towards the end of 2020, Saturn entered Aquarius for good, and which means that throughout 2021, as we will work on in 2022, Saturn in Aquarius is all about science, technology, innovation, raising our vibration, awakening. And Saturn is the planet of our material world. It's the planet of structure. And when it enters a particular sign, in this case Aquarius, it restructures those areas that are ruled by that particular sign. And in this case, since December of 2020, Saturn in many ways has been restructuring things associated with Aquarius: science, technology, innovation, equality, humanity, peace, raising our vibration, raising our consciousness, awakening, as well as our true, authentic, unique self. And Saturn in 2022 will continue the work in restructuring these areas that I just mentioned, and it will do so till March of 2023 when it changes signs and enters the sign of Pisces. So that's the second thing about 2022, that we will continue progress in science, technology, innovation, raising our vibration, raising our consciousness, awakening, and being our true, authentic, unique self. Saturn in Aquarius is about individuality. So that's the second thing. The third thing about 2022 is that it is a year we will continue to build two astrological cycles that started in 2020. The first is the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. Now, this happened in January of 2020. And I know that's quite far out, almost 2 years ago, but it's relevant. And it's relevant because all of 2022, we will be working on that cycle. We will be building the foundation for that cycle. Now, what exactly is this cycle? So the Saturn-Pluto cycle is a 33 to 38 year cycle. And when Saturn and Pluto meet up, it's the beginning of the next cycle, which is what happened in January of 2020. A new Saturn-Pluto cycle began in the sign of Capricorn, which means a new cycle that brought about a considerable shift in our material reality, started in January of 2020 and will be with us till 2053. So all of 2020, all of 2021, we worked on that. We worked on changing. We worked on embracing the new shift that happened in our lives. And in 2022, we will continue that work. Now, the second cycle that we are working on in 2022 is the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction cycle, a cycle of 20 years. Now, this new cycle began in December of 2020 and will be with us till 2040. So all of 2021, we laid the foundation for that, and all of 2022, we will continue the work for that cycle as well. Now, the next thing that I want to mention is that as we enter 2022, Venus is retrograde. Venus went retrograde on December 19th, 2021, and coming into 2022, Venus is retrograde and will be till January 28th, which means it is really not the best time to start something new when it comes to relationships, finances, projects, or investments. Best to wait it out and then start after Jan 28th. So that's Venus retrograde as we enter the year of 2022. Now, the next important thing is that this year we also have Mars going retrograde. Now, Mars retrogrades every 2 years. So we have a year's gap between Mars retrogrades. And this year, Mars is going to retrograde towards the end of the year, starting on October 29th, all the way up to next January. So a good 3 months it will be in retrograde. And what that means is that as we enter 2022, we are in retrograde, and as we exit 2022, we are in retrograde. And retrogrades are a period of review. Starting something absolutely new is not the best during retrogrades. And a lot of the other planets will start to go direct one by one starting end April all the way to August. And what that essentially leaves us with is Feb, March, and April, and a little bit of May. But more importantly, Feb, March, and April to really start new things and do new things, because that's when all the energies will be direct. It's a good time in the month of Feb, March, and April to seed things, to start new things. The rest of the year, it's better to work on what we planted in those 3 months. Now, the next thing that is important is that as we enter 2022, the nodes will change signs. So the nodes change signs every 18 months. So they have been in the sign of Gemini and Sagittarius all of 2021, starting in May of 2020. And as we enter 2022, on January 18th, the nodes will shift signs, and the nodal cycle is an 18.5-year cycle. So the nodes will come back to Taurus and Scorpio after 18.5 years. And what this essentially means is that the themes of Taurus and Scorpio will be magnified. Taurus is the Taurus is the sign of our material world, of wealth, finances, resources, values, skills, self-worth. And Scorpio is the hidden. Scorpio is the deep truth. Scorpio is the spiritual. So the themes that will be highlighted in 2022 will be Taurus and Scorpio themes. Finances, self-worth, values, skills, the material world, as well as the spiritual, the hidden, the buried. So that's another thing that I wanted to mention. Now, moving on, we have an important transit on April 11th. Saturn will be squaring the nodes. Saturn will be making a 90-degree angle with both the north node and the south node. And in 2021, last year, Saturn trined the north node. Now, what does this mean? This means that this aspect of Saturn squaring the nodes will help us decide, make commitments, define our path and our goals. Last year, Saturn did trine the north node. Now, there is a difference in what happened last year and this year in regards to our goals, our path. Last year, we didn't need to define our goals. We didn't need to take decisions or make commitments. There was no need because a trine is an easy aspect. It does not require you to make that change. But now Saturn is squaring the nodes, requiring us to define our goals, take decisions towards our goals, make commitments towards our goals, or simply work hard towards our goals. That being said, I do believe Saturn squaring the nodes is a good thing this year, and I will explain why in a moment. So the next important thing happens a day after on April 12th, and Jupiter and Neptune are going to conjunct. They are going to meet up in the sign of Pisces. Now this happens once in about 13 years. So every time they meet up, Jupiter and Neptune, a new cycle begins when it comes to Neptunian themes. And what are those themes? Spirituality, connecting with the higher realms, universal love and compassion, also media, also deception, escapism, drugs, alcohol, all Piscean themes. A new cycle begins for these themes. And this year, the conjunction is happening in the sign of Pisces. It's not necessary that the conjunction takes place in Pisces. It can be in any sign, right? But it's happening in Pisces. And why is that special? It is special because Neptune rules the sign of Pisces. Jupiter used to rule the sign of Pisces, which means Pisces is magnified 3 times over. Jupiter loves Pisces. It used to rule it. Neptune is representative of Pisces, and it's happening in Pisces, which means these themes that I mentioned of spirituality, escapism, meditation, media, yoga, drugs, alcohol are all magnified, even confusion and deception perhaps. And Pisces is also the water sign, right? It rules water bodies, so that is magnified as well in 2022. Now moving on to the next important thing. On July 31st, Uranus is going to conjunct the North Node. Now, the last time this happened was, I believe, in 2007. Now, the North Node is a magnifier. It magnifies any planet it comes in contact with. And in this case, it's magnifying Uranus, right? What is Uranus? Uranus is the disruptor. Uranus is science, tech, innovation, raising our vibration, it's awakenings, it's enlightenment, it's our true, unique, authentic self. So Uranus is all these things, and the North Node is magnifying Uranus. So all these things will be magnified. Now, that being said, why did I say Saturn squaring the nodes, although a stressful aspect, is a positive one? And it's simply because Saturn is not only squaring the nodes, it's also squaring Uranus, which means it's squaring the Uranus North Node conjunction that I just mentioned. So Saturn is a controller, it's a restrictor, it limits things. So while North Node is magnifying all these Uranian themes, right? Saturn is there to control it. Saturn is there to restrict it. Saturn is there saying, hey, don't get too crazy, because Uranus is a lot of energy, right? And it can really blow things out of proportion. But with Saturn squaring this conjunction, not exact, but it's going to be in a square, it's controlling Uranus. It's controlling the North Node Uranus conjunction and saying, okay, science, tech, innovation, awakening, all this is great. You can magnify all this North Node, but there has to be limits. There has to be a structure to it. So it's a good thing because it's not going to let that Uranus North Node conjunction energy go out of control. Because Uranus, every planet has a negative as well, right? And Uranus has its own negatives, and Saturn squaring this energy will make sure that the negatives are not blown out of proportion. So that's July 31st, Uranus conjuncting the North Node. Now let's talk about the eclipses a little bit. All of 2022, we'll have eclipses in the sign of Taurus and Scorpio in 2021, we had eclipses in both Sag and Gemini, as well as Taurus and Scorpio. But this year, it's solely Taurus and Scorpio, which means karmic themes associated with Taurus are resources, finances, skills, self-worth, values, and with Scorpio, deep transformation, spirituality, digging deep, the all or nothing approach will be highlighted. That's where the eclipses will take place. On these themes, on this axis rather, we'll have the eclipses, karmic events take place in 2022. And that's pretty much it. I wanted to give you the overarching theme of 2022. And to sum it up, I would say that 2022 is a year where there will be innovation, science, technology, and the internet will be important. It's a year of letting go of the old and embracing the new. It's a year where we will embrace our unique, authentic self. It's also a year where spirituality, media, drugs, deceptions, confusion, and water is highlighted. It's also a year that we can see a lot of spiritual awakening take place. And it's a year that we will build. And we will build what started for us in January of 2020 and December of 2020. And Feb, March, and April are the best time in 2022 to start something absolutely new. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in one of my other videos. Have a great day. Bye.